The question now bounces back to Washington, D.C. Where are their heads, specifically the people who voted against this plan? So let's bring in a couple of members of Congress right now. We have Marcy Kaptur, Democrat of Ohio, and we also have Marilyn Musgrave, a Republican from Colorado. Can you both hear me? It's good to have you this morning.
We can hear you.
Yes.
All right, so let's begin with what this vote could mean. Both of you, answer this in hand. If you would, Representative Kaptur, we can begin with you. Your vote and the failure of this bill, are you ready to accept the potential responsibility for bringing down this economy as a result of your vote?
Well, first of all, our vote, if that were the only issue in what is troubling this economy, we couldn't possibly bring it down. We need to have a good bill, not a fast bill. We have to be prudent in what we do. Our banking committee is fundamentally strong. The problem with what's happening in the markets today is a credit crunch, not a liquidity problem. One of the things the President of the United States could do today is to get his SEC chairman to change the accounting rules for mark-to-market to loosen up these credit markets. And then the other issue that we have is the housing foreclosure challenge on every main street across this country. This bill did not effectively deal with that. We have to address the real estate issue and get that mortgage market working again. This bill would not do that. So I think we have to really look for something that will make the markets function in the way that they should, not reward bad behavior and give all these bills to the American taxpayer who didn't cause this problem. We have a strong system. We have a strong economic system. The markets will work. And frankly, for Wall Street, I would say, calm down. Don't panic. Don't be led to anxious behavior. Franklin Roosevelt said the greatest thing we have to fear is fear itself. Don't be led by fear. Be led by responsible and prudent behavior, and we'll get through this.
But you know what? You're not going to see any partisan bickering here today or any partisan rancor. But what you will see is a Republican and a Democrat coming together to say we need a bill that is good. We were not going to act in haste. That bill was flawed from the very beginning. I was out opposing it before all the thousands of calls started coming into my office overwhelmingly opposing it. But you know what? We know that inaction is not the answer, and we're coming back to work on Thursday.
Right, but Representative, inaction has been the answer because you didn't pass this bill. If you talk to people in the markets, they say you see what happens.
Bill.
But you see what happens yesterday.
We not only answer to Wall Street, we answer to Main Street.
Absolutely, but what about Main Street's interests?
Constituents.
What about Main Street's interest, Representative? You saw yesterday, 50% of Americans hold stocks. You lost $1.2 trillion in value. That's more than the bailout amount one single day. You have to know that the credit markets affect people at home, their credit cards, their auto loans.
What we're doing is we're coming back on Thursday, and we're coming to work and craft a good bill. Marcy and I are in a working group together. We're trying to come up with the very best solution for this country, and the responsibility that we feel is to pass a good bill.
What does that mean exactly?
We didn't get
Define
into this
good bill
mess
for me.
in 72 hours. We're not going to get out of it in 72 hours.
Right, but can you tell me more about what makes it a good bill? I'm sorry, we're dealing with the communication from Wall Street to where you are.
Let me just say that now you're very anxious. I can hear your voice there. For the sake of the country and even the sake of the markets, I think you should operate prudently and with a little bit of calm in your voice today. What we want to do is be responsible, not just for what happens on Wall Street, but for what happens to the American taxpayer generations hence. Yes. There is a credit market seize up, but the answer to that is not the bill that we had yesterday. The answer is for the president to go and call his SEC chairman today and get him to change those mark-to-market rules that are making it difficult for interbank lending. That would do so much to help this economy, and that doesn't require legislation by the Congress. That's a regulatory change. The other thing we really need to do is to have a bill that deals with the housing crisis, which is at the heart of what has caused this implosion. And we need those workouts. We don't need to hemorrhage anymore on Main Street. This bill did not do that. We're working together to try to do a bill that meets the needs of America, and that will be the best thing we can do for Wall Street.
Right, and of course, both of you understand that any anxiety here is because of the interests of people on Main Street and wanting to make sure they don't get caught up in politics. So the question to you two is, what are you going to put in this bill that will make it what you keep calling a good bill? Do you have a solution?
Yes, that's what I was just talking about, a change in the accounting rules that would ease up the credit crunch, which is really at the heart of what some of the anxiety in the marketplace. That can be done from an accounting standpoint. I think one of the problems is that Mr. Paulson is a day trader. He's not a banker. And there's a different psychology that operates on Wall Street. We need to use the regular tools we have through the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, which really has been employed if you look at some of the resolutions that have been occurring. But we need to we don't need to lose any more banks. We need to ease up on those accounting rules so that the normal system can unseize and those loans can be made across this economy. Then we need to deal with the housing situation with dispatch. And this bill did neither yesterday. So we're going to work together here. We're going to try to inject some reason into this debate.
Yes, we are.
And not be railroaded because someone who spent his life on Wall Street wants to become master of the universe and have the American people give him $700 billion over their treasury.
The concerns is certainly there. I appreciate you two coming on to make sure that everybody knows that you're addressing their concerns at home, because at the end of the day, that's what we're all worried about. So thank you to both of you for being with us this morning.
We'll be working together. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right. Good luck to you.
GMA Now just turned 1.
Happy first birthday.
Happy birthday.
Good morning, America Now.
Good morning, America Now.
Happy first birthday.
Good morning, America Now.
Good morning, America Now.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Get the third hour of GMA at abcnewsnow.com.
Happy first birthday.
GMA Now!